What's up guys, Dylan here from AYCB, dishing up another how to play, this time for The Fox in the Forest, which is designed by Joshua Burgell and published by Foxtrot Games and Renegade Games. This is a simple two-player trick-taking card game, and I say simple, but it's also deceptively strategic. Both players will be playing cards to the center of the table in an attempt to win tricks, and at the end of the round, you'll score an amount of points depending on how many tricks you collected. Let me show you how to play The Fox in the Forest. To set up the game, shuffle all 33 cards and deal out 13 to each player. Keep your hands hidden from your opponent. The remaining 7 cards form a draw deck. You can put that beside the players. Flip over the top card face up next to the deck. This is the decree card. What's important here is that the suit of this card will be really important for gameplay purposes, and it is referred to as the trump suit. Remember that for later. Put all the victory tiles in a pile next to the players. The Fox in the Forest is played over 13 turns, with each turn consisting of a player playing a card to the center of the table and the other player responding with their own card. In this way, the round ends when both hands are emptied, since both players start with 13 cards in their hand and will play one each turn. At the start of each turn, one player will begin by playing the leading card and put it to the center of the table. The other player will then follow with their own card and will look at the numbers as well as abilities on the card to determine who wins the trick. The winner of the trick will take the cards and place them face down beside them, and then we continue like this until all cards have been emptied from the hands. These cards that are set aside face down are public knowledge, so everyone can know at all times how many tricks each player has. However, you can never turn these cards over to remind yourself of the numbers that are on them. If this is the first turn of the game, randomly decide who will lead and who will follow. However, on all subsequent turns, the player who leads will be the player who won the previous trick. The leader can play any card they want from their hand. The suit on that card will be called the lead suit. Remember that for later. The player who follows must match the lead suit that was played by the leader. So for instance, if the leader player played the 6 of bells, I would have to play a card that matches the bell suit, but it could be any number in the bell suit that I wish unless otherwise specified by a card ability. If I don't have any bells in my hand, then I am allowed to play a card with any suit I want. To determine who wins the trick, generally you'll be looking to see who played the highest number, of course taking into account that certain cards have certain abilities. However, keep in mind that the trump suit always takes precedence. Remember, that's the suit that's on the decree card. So if one or both players have played a card from the trump suit, the person who played the highest number from the trump suit will win the trick. So for instance, if I played a 4 in the current trump suit, moons, and my opponent had no moons in their hand, and therefore had to play an 8 of keys, even though their 8 beats my 4, I would win the trick because I have the highest played card in the trump suit. If both cards had been in the trump suit, their 8 would have won the trick as normal. If neither player played a card from the trump suit, then the lead suit takes precedence. So the player who played the highest number in the lead suit will win the trick. Remember, the lead suit is determined by the lead player's card. So for instance, if I played this 6 of keys and my opponent only had bells in their hand and had to play this 10 of bells, I would win the trick. This is because neither of us has matched the trump suit moons, and therefore the lead suit takes precedence, which is based on the card played by the leader. In this case, the lead suit is keys, so I win the trick. Once a player has won a trick, take the 2 cards and flip them face down, keeping them next to you for scoring. Keep in mind that the number of tricks a player has won is public knowledge, so try to organize them in a way that's easy for each player to see so you don't have to keep reminding each other. One thing that remains private for both players, however, are the numbers on the cards of the winning trick. So if you forget what's there, you can't go peeking to remind yourself, so pay attention to what gets played. As I stated before, the person who won the trick will lead the next trick. You keep playing this way until all 13 cards have been played, and at that point, scoring begins. In order to score, you're going to count how many tricks you have and refer to the chart to see how many points you scored. Gaining the most tricks does not always mean the most points. For instance, if you won 0 to 3 tricks, you gain 6 points, which is actually tied for the most points you can gain in a round. For 4 tricks, you gain 1 point. 5 tricks, 2. 6 tricks, 3. 7 to 9 tricks also gets you 6 points. And finally, if you won 10 to 13 tricks, you are considered greedy and gain 0 points. After you're finished scoring, if either player has 21 points, the game ends. However, if neither player has 21 points, reshuffle, deal the cards out, and play another round until you get to the point where a player has 21 points. If you get to 21 points and both players are tied, then the player who got the most points on the previous round only breaks the tie and wins. Now those are pretty much all the rules for the Fox in the Forest, but let's look over the special abilities that are on some of the cards so you have a better understanding of what you'll be encountering. The ability on the number 1 Swan card is that when you play a 1 and lose the trick, you get to lead the next trick even though you lost. The ability of the number 3 Fox card allows you to exchange a card from your hand for the decree card on the table. This happens immediately when you play the Fox, meaning if you lead with this card, you will do this action if you like before your opponent plays their card. And if you follow with this card, you can do this action before determining who wins the trick. The ability of the number 5 Woodcutter allows you to draw 1 card from the face down deck and then discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. This also happens immediately when it's played. The ability of the number 7 Treasure awards 1 point to whoever wins a trick that contains one of these 7s for each 7 in the trick. The ability of the number 9 Witch allows the winner of any trick that contains exactly 1 9 to treat that 9 card as if it were in the trump suit, even if it isn't. And finally, the ability of the number 11 Monarch is when you lead with an 11, if your opponent has at least 1 card of that suit in their hand, they must play their highest card in this suit or the number 1 card in this suit. They can't play any other card unless they have no cards of that suit. And that's how you play the Fox in the Forest. For tons more content on this game and tons of other games, head over to our YouTube channel, go to allyoucanboard.com and check us out on social media. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more notifications from us and help us out. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a message if you have any questions, concerns, or any games you want to see covered. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.